guys have faith in the showrunner. I get it. I feel that way, but I'm looking at the business model. I'm looking at a company that is going through a merger and they're cutting costs. My goodness, they just shell a $200 million finished movie, and they chopped just about all the well-performing series. So I have no doubt that the showrunner can do a great job and make a great product. My question is, will the people that hold the purse strings let him? So I'm holding out hope that this movie does well. I will watch it. I will enjoy it. I think I'm gonna enjoy it for what it was. But I gotta remind y'all, I enjoyed the Justice League, and that got dogged out too. So I don't know if that says something about my judgment or says something about, I don't know. I mean, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know, like I said, it's got to be a big jumping off point because, like Alvin mentioned earlier, you know, with Ezra Miller's, you know, legal troubles and all that, and they still standing behind them. That has to show you some kind of dedication.
Yeah,
because like you just said, if they scrapped a $200 million movie,
right, they could have scrapped this one,
and they're standing behind this.
And they are.
That says
they
something.
are. They are, because, and to be quite honest, I was surprised to see they were still moving forward with it. I mean, you're shelving $200 million. I'm figuring you're going to shelve everything. So
no,
we'll see. We'll see how it works.
We'll see how it works. So in this one, I think they're not going with the traditional Superman as the big hero. They're going with Supergirl as the big hero in this one. So
I'm not very fond of this Batmobile version either, by the way.
You know what? Did you like the Rumbler or the Tumbler?
I like the Tumbler.
You like the
Tumbler?
No,
hey Carlos, he wants the original that comes out the the TV show version that comes out the what is it, that sign, you know, it comes down and he comes out of it. That's what he wants.
Copter.
He went the old school boom bam.
I want to say back
boom bam.
I'm surprised you didn't like the phallic looking Batman.
You know, I could make all kind of jokes on that.
I mean, I think you would like the old school phallic looking one, don't you?
So now you're saying Batman's overcompensating.
Listen.
Hey.
I'm saying it looked like the penis. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying the Batmobile looked like a penis. But so so now we're dealing with this. We have the multiverse in Marvel. Now we have the multiverse here in DC, and you know there's similarities to this movie in that Spider-Man Homecoming, you know, and everything. And I know this was originally a book. It was in the comic books and everything, but now they bring it to movies. So for those people who are not familiar with the book, they're going to compare it to the last thing that they know of about multiverse, which is, you know, Spider-Man Homecoming. You know what I'm saying?
And those are going to be the people that I think don't know about. Those are going to be non-comic book readers.
Well, right, exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of the movie fans, a surprisingly large number of movie fans are non-comic book readers.
Yes, and that's the
thing.
So
you have to go back and kind of explain stuff to them, because you're right. They're going to think
when you're dealing with the multiverse,
DC copied.
When you're dealing with the multiverse, it comes into complex issues that people can't wrap their head around.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that read the comic books, we can kind of wrap our head around it. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you know we read the books, and we get how things work, and things and a lot of them they have a Back to the Future type of reference when it comes to, you know, going back in time, and then not only going back in time, but now you're dealing with multiple universes where they have a person who looks just like you who's totally different from you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing, you know, they're a superhero or they're a cook or whatever, you know, so they can't wrap their head around that. So
I always think in another universe,
talk,
I'm a stripper.
What do you say?
I always think in another universe, I'm like a Chippendale or something.
You're something.
You're something.
You're something. I can agree with the something part.
you might be what's on the back side of the pimp hand.
And hey, in another universe, we're all slugs. So, that's why they call it the multiverse. It's just limitless. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I mean, how do we feel about? Do we think we're going to lose audience because of that? Because of the time travel and multiverse talk and everything?
No, because I especially with Marvel, I think there's this Kang stuff. They're setting up the timeline, and they're explaining it out with that and the Loki series.
Yeah, right.
So I think they're giving it to you a little bit at a time in a couple movies, a couple TV shows to explain it as best they can. This is this character. This is the villain that we're dealing with. He can, he has different versions of himself in different time streams and timelines and universes. So to combat this person, you're gonna have to travel through the time, through time
or different universes.
In different universes. So I think Marvel is doing it well. I have a real good friend here that's, he was like, he don't think that they explain Kang well, or he hopes that they do. Well, it didn't, but we got
a lot more to go though.
We got a lot more to go. That's what I was about to say. They gave you a little bit of Thanos at a time until you came up to the grand scheme of, now we as comic fans, we already knew that Thanos was in love with death. We just had to see how they were going to do it in the movies.
Right.
Now they didn't quite make it to where he was in love with death. He just wanted to, in his mind, balance the universe.
Right.
But so I think the like we spoke before, the best thing that Marvel has done is correlated their TV shows and their movies to move in the same direction. So
right.
Yeah, so they're going to give you a little bit of Kang backstory in this TV show and a little bit more in this movie, and then when it hits the grand scheme of things, the two big movies that they're going to have, or however many big movies that they're going to have to battle, Kang, during all the past shows and TV, the movies and TV shows, we're going to get what Kang is and who he is and what he stands for and why we need to defeat him.
Right. And I think Marvel does a great job with being strategic with those kind of things. That's what worries me about DC. Like Alvin said, Marvel, we didn't know it at the time, but Loki really was developed to give you that super simplified version of the multiple timelines so you can be ready for it in this movie that's about to come. And that way it doesn't all have to I don't have to try to cram the explanation of it in this 2-hour movie. Now I can sit here and tell a story because you already have some idea of it. Right. And then even with Ant-Man, I mean, being able to tie that thing in to the quantum universes, and now it all ties together. My thing with DC is they don't utilize that stuff. They don't utilize it well. But this is not new because they said early on when they started doing that TV series, they weren't going to have any connection between the two.
Right.
And Marvel did that well. Even with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., before they try to kick him to the curb. Well, some they kick him to the curb when they feel like it. But they played that show to get people excited and lead them into the movie that was going, whatever Marvel movie was about to take place, and then even bring them out on the other end.
Right.
So, I mean, and it was a marketing ploy. Now, sometimes it was kind of obvious, maybe a little cheesy how they did it, but they did it and they kept it interesting. My irritation with DC is they got more experience with that, at least on the comic books. They've got more material where it could have been smooth and could have been done, but they made the decision, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to. Even bother with it.
When I heard my friend say that they could have done a better job of explaining Kang, and I'm like, to me, he's in a one-shot state of mind. I know I keep bringing one shot up, but to make these villains massive, you can't tell their backstory in one film or one TV show. Not like, because you could do minor villains that way,